The coarseness, the matter of coarseness. You talked about that we need to work on it with the friends. Sometimes he used to tell us that we need to take the gloves off because we treat each other too cordially right then, and also in an electric circle you need to in a circuit. Rather you need contact. So I see that in the relation between me and a friend, or between two friends, I see how insults start happening and misunderstanding between me and another. Any two people, we really can't feel each other, and here you say that we dive into that. What can we discover between us? I assume equivalence of form or disparity of form. Dear friend, I welcome you. Our sit down, you're there in a week. Dear friends, I want to share with you this big joy which I am in when I'm with you on the lessons and on the meetings where we want together reach one desire, which is bestow and adhesion to where Creator. That's why we're coming to the Congress to support all the CL personally from Czech Republic. Friend, as my friends already said, we are happy to see you. We are preparing ourselves, we are doing meetings, we are thinking about what we can do to bring the desire and the importance of the goal and our work and our common journey from Czechoslovakia to Israel. We are all happy to see you, and now I'm passing the word to Parker to read the article from Rarish. Writes, one must disclose the love in his heart towards the friend, since by revealing it he evokes his friends' hearts towards the friends, so they would feel that each of them is practicing love of friends. The benefit from that is that in this manner one gains strength to practice love of friends more forcefully, since every verse of love is incorporated in each other's. One must disclose the love in his heart to their friends, since by revealing it he evokes his friends' hearts towards the friends, so they too would feel that each of them is practicing love of friends. The benefit from that is that in this manner one gains strength to practice love of friends more forcefully. Every person's force of love is incorporated in each other's. Dear friend, good morning. I greeting all of you, all the world. See, I am really happy that I can be a part of this morning lesson. I have a really good feeling about this. I have tempting on my heart, and I'm really happy to be here with you. My heart is absolutely open to all the friends. Please come to their Congress and participate, all of you, as you feel it in a way as I felt it, to be together in our one common heart. Good morning. As it is said in the article, love of friends, this is the reason why we are coming to the Congress, and that's why we are coming to the friends, to open our hearts and letting our friends to come into our hearts, to hug them and to enter Lishma together. Hello friends, hello their world. See what is Congress. This is the place when we are all together and closest as most as we can be, and the only rule is to love our friends as ourselves, because we are the last generation and we have to come to the palace of our king. Let's come and connect together for the Creator. Dear world, see, I'm greeting you all. I didn't want to come to Israel to the Congress. There were some obstacles, but after I've seen the desire in our group, I couldn't manage in any other way, and since that time my desire is growing, and I hope we will all come closer to the Creator, and I'm really happy to see you all and meet you. And dear friends, I received a vision for you, especially for this Congress. The vision was about a temple that was raising up from the ruins of a temple full of music and dance, and the temple was rising up from the sparks of points in heart of the friends, rising up in of power of our root, like a wings of bird fix from the dust into the flame that will be dancing to the music of heaven under the bun of the Creator. Good morning world. On the last Congress I roughed to our CLE, and I promised him that we will come in more people to the next Congress, and this is the result time. And now we will make the active workshop, and the question for the active workshop is, how will we feel the love of the friends in the lesson? Question again, how will we feel The love of the friends in the lesson. Active workshop. Think the friend from the CCHCOV group. Give us an example how we can feel love. A friend when comes with his heart so open, so big, is so full of yearning to come to the Congress General. Yearning to be in the lesson, joy from being here, but when the heart is open, and each one comes out of himself and into the friends, we can feel the general love of friends that's created between us. In addition, for us everything depends on the intention, the way that I intend, the way that I aim myself to feel. That everything that emerges from the friends will not reach my belly, but it will come to me with the intention that I receive it as love of friends. All the questions in the L and everything happening around me, it's all the Creator operating from them and directing me to aim myself towards Him. The path to the Congress passes through the CCH. Slovak such friends, let's remember the Creator gave you such friends especially, and just need to connect to this burning desire. Amazing, all of her friends in the entire world, CLE, who are making such huge efforts to be in the Congress, to meet a large number of them are coming here to Israel. Any such friend, it's something of himself that gives a lot of strength and a lot of inspiration to everyone, and in such a way we build the one common yearning. And now we're all preparing for the morning lesson, and it's impossible for us not to feel the love of friends in a lesson, because only thanks to the fact that we are together opposite the reforming light, we can truly feel its influence over us. So it's truly a great and important thing. I'm also extremely excited how the Creator is helping the friends from the Czech Slovak to open the heart, to put in those last bits of effort, and at the same time my heart. And now we will enter the silent workshop, and the question is, how will we, the love of the friends, bring us to attention to the Creator? Again, silent workshop, how will the love of the friends bring us to attention with the Creator? It's a silent workshop for dear friends. In the first part of the lesson, we will watch a recorded lesson from the date of the 24th of April 2023. This recorded lesson will last about an hour and a quarter. Then we will have a study between the friends studying test. Hello, we are in a lesson on the topic of all your actions will be for the sake of the Creator. We're reading selected excerpts from the sources. Continuing from number 7, you'll find the study material in the system on KR Info. If you're asking a question in the hall, please stand up, put the mic close to your mouth and speak loudly and clearly. What does it mean that all your actions will be for the sake of the Creator? Today we exist in a will to receive of a special kind, that it doesn't even matter if it's for oneself, not for oneself, or for someone else. However, we are being operated by it. We are being operated by it. We don't understand anything else. We cannot compare it with anything else, and therefore this is our life. This is our nature. You can call it egoistic, but it doesn't matter how you call it that. This is us, and there is another possibility to direct a person so that he will not think for his own benefit, but rather he will think for the benefit of what is outside of him, that just as now he is directed towards himself, and he cares that all his thoughts and actions and deeds will be for his own benefit, as it seems to him that it is for his benefit. That so is a thought, speech and action will be for someone else. It could only be the Creator, that he is outside of the person in order to build for a person a certain transition, so that he will know how to make such a leap, great leap, truly from minus infinity to plus infinity. Create, arrange the human society around the person, and gave the person a chance, so that the person can work not for what we call myself, as though it is for himself, the way that he was born for the sake of his ego, but rather for the sake of someone outside of him, and that the someone outside of him will be as a transition from self-love to love of others, and later on the love of the Creator. This is why we need to go through this transition and realize that this is indeed a very special preparation, that the Creator created it, arranged that out of his love towards us, and let's use it in order to shift from the nature of the created being to the nature of the Creator so please. Action shall be for the sake of. If there are any questions, go ahead. You can ask. Yes, except number 7 under intention there is prayer. Jude pray that his actions will be for the sake of the Creator. This choice pertains specifically to those who want to walk in the ways of their Torah, the view of Torah. Conversely, those who belong only to the view of landlords belong only to the first discernment, meaning to the part of actions without intention, since the prime intention is only to achieve the power of bestow. Also the matter of reception and bestow applies to all the degree sins. Before the correction of the screen it is called reception, meaning not for her sake, and the correction of the screen is the meaning of for her sake, meaning bestow again. 7 the intention there is prayer. One should pray that his actions will be for the sake of the Creator. This choice pertains specifically to those who want to walk in the ways of the Torah, in the view of Torah. Conversely, those who belong only to the view of lards belong only to the first discernment, meaning to the part of actions without intention, since the prime intention is only to achieve the power of bestow. Also the matter of reception and bestow applies to all the degrees sins. Before the correction of the screen it is called reception, meaning L, and the correction of the screen is the meaning of meaning questions. Please, it's slow so clear. Yes, let's say a person has developed and he understood that the true good is to bestow. That's what the Creator wants, that's what increases the peace in the world, that's what brings everyone to the desire of the Creator who wishes to give to everyone. Yes, is that not enough? What I hear from that is that one actually has a greater ego. It's good for everyone and for him, the Creator. By this does he perform the Creator's will or his own will? The same. What's the difference? What do you mean? If it's the same, how do we know if it's the same or not? That's what he understands according to his development. The fact that he understands this way, that doesn't mean anything, so need to feel it to have something special besides it, beyond it. Well, they explain to him, what does it mean to bestow? That this desire is to bestow. A person who wants to reach and nearing to the Creator, similar to the Creator, has to become similar to the quality of P. Yeah, they explain to him, but he understand according to his vessel. How can you understand according to his vessel? According to his vessel, they explain to him that bestow is something which is the opposite of what he has. Yes, but it's something good, so he earns for it because it's something good. What is good? Bestow, and he believes that it's good. He will bring him greater pleasures, not just to him, it'll be good for everyone. So he's willing, he's ready. How can he be ready if his nature is only to receive? He takes the desires of the friends, he takes what's written well is already work for many years, but it's not enough. Mean it's not enough yet. He didn't do anything yet. It's not to bestow, or is it to bestow? I guess I don't understand. You, the person, was when he was born, he was in order to receive in each and everything right. That's it now. His development came by him being in a group, in lessons, etc., to the point where he hears that we have to reach in order to bestow, and he realizes that in order to bestow actually brings him closer to the Creator. The Creator is in bestow. Do it. This is what we learn. Those who agree to shift from in order to receive to in order to bestow. What is it that they have to do in order to actualize? I realize that this is why they have to enter a society where everyone thinks this way and everyone learns and everyone acts only in this direction. Receive at one point, not immediately, but at one point nevertheless to receive. Some taste bestow, and according to that, they also try to create a different kind of connection between them in small groups that they build. This is how they bit by bit influence each other, bestow to each other, and they advance. Okay, they go through process to heal. This is the truth. This is good. Eventually, when I say that I choose the good, then like it or not, it's good. For me, I chose the good. What am I missing? How do you choose that this is good for you? I myself, I follow go according to the belief of in the sages. everything that's written down go according to faith in the sages. This is good always. Go according to something that we feel, to small extent that it's the truth it's good. Is it enough or not? No, I see that all of my bones, my thoughts, they're all against it. I need to be. Still I need to think about the friends I hardly need to think about. Myself I have to restrict myself more and more. Think about the benefit of the 10 more and more, so what's good in that it's work and overcoming. Okay, and what can help here? I didn't understand the question. When a person begins to receive such states where he feels has to overcome and he has no strength to do it, what can help him? The group and praying to their Creator, and if it doesn't help, there is no more, only to invest in that as much power as possible in connection with the friends and a prayer to their Creator. What other questions? If a friend is in the state where he has recognition of evil, he doesn't feel the influence of the friends who love him dearly, he doesn't feel it. So what is the work here? To reach the point where he will have a connection with the friends so that everyone is in a single plate. He lacks that connection with the friends. He just feels everything is opposite, it's against him, so he should work on it. He should work on it. His ego is not giving him the possibility to connect with the friends. What is he doing with his ego? That he's discovering. Try nevertheless to be connected with the friends as much as possible and realize that this might be his nature, that he's quite far from the friends. There are people that according to their nature they're close to each other, and there are people who cannot connect to others. It's as if there is a wall between him and the others. And what can I do? So one has to work on that. How can the group show the friends that it loves him, it wants only good for him? The 10 in his 10 should care for each and everyone in this way, that he will get deeper into their inner circle and that they will all care for each other as one man with one heart. This is the concern of the 10, because it's everyone's loss or everyone's gain according to the connection or separation between them. Okay, the correction of the screen. Does it mean that best will enter men's nature? Restore will enter man's nature. Enter the man. I don't know if it's nature I'm asking, because in a corrected state, what is the meaning of effort? Because in order to receive, there's no effort, so I'm asking about the yes. So when the screen is corrected, is there any effort? Force. The screen is the force of overcoming over the will to receive and shifting it to connection and in order to bestow. So it's not like in order to receive. So what is natural? That it enters by nature through the reforming light. A person can receive the nature of into bestow, and he will keep it in a way that it's his. It's natural. I'm asking because I'm noticing that to love the efforts to rise from in order to receive to in order to bestow. I personally don't like these efforts. Nobody likes them. Who likes going against his will? Can you reach a state where a person likes it, enjoys it, or it feels natural to him to go against the desire? Well, maybe through the group, through the environment. What should I imagine? I will enjoy efforts of Theo. Read Rash's articles about the influence of the society of the environment. Moan, thank you. Give the microphone to. I heard that you should make efforts to aim your thought, speech and action at the Creator. Now I noticed that as time passes, it becomes very difficult to aim your actions, even do any actions, but in the speech it seems like we develop nicely. We speak nicely. Can speaking without actions, I'm not talking about thoughts, but speech alone, does it have any power? Yes, speech also has power, because when a person speaks well, to some extent, you have to agree with whatever you're saying as it come. So we can also improve in our speech. Yes, course, all right. He makes a distinction here. Rush, the part of the action, is without intention, and bestow is specifically the intention. Well, is there such a division? If it's an action without intention, it must the reception, and if you want speak of bestow, it's only the part of the intention. Bestow. Well, both reception and bestow, we scrutinize them through the intention. Without the intention, there is no Action, because first you have to decide. What is it that you want to achieve? What? For how, for whom, etc. And in the beginning, he says, at intention there's prayer, that through a prayer, by telling to the Creator, you can change your intention so that it will be for bestow. So what does it mean then to follow the path of Torah and the view of the Torah? If I'm asking the Creator to change my intention, that is also included in the Torah, that you are asking of the Creator that he will have the force of Baal. This means that you walking in the ways of their Torah. So the intention is for a change that will come from the Creator or my nature, of course. From where else will a change come to you? Now the question is this where best is, and lishmer is this request from the Creator on changing my nature? Now it's something totally different. The fact that from the Cree comes the force of B, and this force is above nature, that's not called lishmer. Lishmer is what comes from with the person to the Creator, not from the Creator to the person. He receives this power from above, changing his nature and the ability to bestow. When a person receives a power from above, he can change his intention to be in order to bestow, and then it is considered that he is in lishma. So first he receives the power to bestow, and then he can choose if he will use it in order to bestow or not. No, he already chose that earlier before he asked. It's not clear, how can he choose if his nature hasn't changed yet by the Creator? How can TRC if his nature has already been changed? That's actually the question. Where is the point where a person decides, and where can say he wants when he is in, but he wants to reach? What is it, that point in a man where he can want this thing as long as he's working from his egoistic nature? He's operating in his egoistic nature, and he begins to recognize that this nature is bad for me. Be for me, be for everyone. It goes against the Creator, and he doesn't want to remain in this nature. Yes, the intention, something that will come to a person before the action, or will the action always happen retroactively? Intention is what ACC companies person if he wants to change anything within him. So here he has a need for a change. He turns to the Creator and he asks for change, but the Creator will make that in him, because only the Creator knows how to make this change in a person. This intention coming before the action of the person does this in change and enter. I didn't understand. We do actions and afterwards we scrutinize the intention. Do they have such an intention or a different intention? How to perform the act of intention before each and every action we make. This is what we should do. An action without an intention is something that is dead. You can see, you can tell that you operated on always, and then there's a place for need to receive an awakening. Then you pray for it. Pray to change this feeling where I was operated on, but to be the active action. The action is the intention. So how do we put the intention first before every step? Because you are the first, you should always turn to the Creator so that he will give you the desire to bestow, the intention to bestow, and to connect with the friends. And this is how you will be the first. That is what he writes in the end. The correction of the screen. As a result of this, you will receive a screen which is its correction as well. That the screen is the intention to bestow. Again, questions from the internet first. For an woman, is the pleasure from bestow something that comes with time, with habit, or it's a force that comes from above all at once? It comes bit by bit through efforts, not through the habit. Question from Asia. Friends that leave us, is this because they haven't recognized their evil to some extent, or the other way around, because they did reveal some evil in the world? I think because they discovered the bed in the wild to receive, and they think that there is a way. Maybe they think that there is a shorter way if they quit and go to search for something else, but nevertheless the person's will to receive is the obstructor here. Women USA West, that's it, says that before the correction of the screen it's called reception. Why are they speaking of the correction of the screen separate from the correction of the world to receive? Isn't the screen part of the correction of the W to receive? The screen is the correction of the will to receive. Mar 19 asking about the screen. Is it the result of prayer? Yes. N. Is it correct to see the screen as intention, or is the screen more than that screen is the intention? From 22. How the shape of the screen is received in us and is shaped in us through our effort that we want to be directed through the 10 to the Creator, where the Creator is the essence of the 10, the internality of the 10, and we want to be connected to Him, adhere to Him, so we have to adhere to the 10, and in this way more and more to come closer to the Creator, until we begin to discover Him in our senses more and more. It makes a very clear distinction there. Those who want the knowledge of T and those who belong to the first discernment, which is the action without intention, but we see that life is a bit more diverse. That's true, but we nevertheless need to distinguish it in these two directions. A person who falls to some from connection with the Tura, he has to choose. What does he want? There are those who only go to keep the commandments in a corporeal manner, and there are those who have care about you entering a adhesion with the Creator in the middle between these and those. Also, we learned lately about an inseparable part of Rich Lishma. You can't skip over Lishma. Yes, he writes here, part of the action without intention, me those who belong to landlords, the first discernment, meaning the part of actions without intention. So it turns out that I sometimes make an action without an intention because I placed myself in the environment. There's no such thing as without an intention, rather your intention is that you want it for yourself. Man's inclination is evil from birth, so he only thinks for himself, for his own. Let's say that I connect with the friends in the T without an intention. There is no without an intention. Intention for myself without a spiritual intention. We learn that's also part of our path. It's not like I'm specifically in the opinion of the landlords. Of course, it is a part of our way. Yes, we cannot advance without that. To go ahead and ask, he mentioned people who are advancing towards choral actions without intention. I'm not speaking about them, I'm speaking about myself in the spiritual work. I find that sometimes I'm only doing the action without intention, not related to commandment, just like connecting to Zoom action, that intention. So is he speaking of me, that I belong to the view of landlords? No, it's just that in the present state you have no choice, but rather you use those forces that were within you. So here, when he speaks of landlords, it's nothing to do with us. Sometimes no, we don't belong to the landlords. To continue, he says, I thought he made the comparison between landlords who wish to receive and they are inside the world to receive, and we, if we are in a process towards the correction of their screen, typically we're still in the world to receive. So we may actually see that inside of us there are landlords and there's a part that wants to work through the Creator. Is it possible? Yes, we have both, in order to bestow and also in order to receive. One part like this, one part like that inside every person. David. Yes, understand that when we try to do certain actions, eventually brings us to despair. If we didn't create the intention, if we didn't put on the intention, which forces us to scrutinize the intention of our actions. Yes, the feeling we discussed earlier. When we begin to feel what is bestow the intention of, is that when we start to scrutinize the intention is only there that we begin to discover there are two intentions I'm in, but also the Creator is shining inside. The same scrutiny is letting me feel fashion bestow. So only in the when we rise to scrutinize the intention, we begin to understand what is bestow, and then we can choose. Actually, we can pray for it. We can ask for it. Mean the feeling of the Creator is only when we are scrutinizing their intention. Yes, good. Anyone else can we say that the correct intention that's made up of the intention that he feels that it is for himself and he can't stand it, but he's holding on to it. He's holding on to it specifically in order to advance two opposite ends. We don't need to hold on to two opposite ends. We want to you belong to the group and to the creator without any other calculation. He can feel one, and he feels that he's entirely in order to receive, and he can't get rid of it. Let's say that he cannot get rid of it, so he considers this as the source of the thank. You go ahead and ask, this is something that we're not going to finish today. Can there be an intention which is not the result of prayer, or is it always efforts? Then the person feels that he can't, then he asks, no, it's not that simple, but all kinds of calculations appear, and the person doesn't know where it came to him from. Usually, he doesn't know all. Right, okay, anyone else, Danny? We are in a society with a teacher and books who take us in the right direction, well, according to, and yes, to understand about our responsibility as individuals in this society to constantly reinforce for the direction, in other words, to arrange your intention before I'm asking, how's a society can we reinforce the direction? You understand what I'm saying? No, let's say I'm about to perform an act of, let's say, dissemination with a friend. It doesn't matter, so we read an excerpt, we talk about why we're doing this action. So, is there something like personal responsibility here to constantly reinforce the intention? Yes, everyone has this responsibility, each one for everyone. And will this improve the accuracy of the society? Is as a society, yes, only by that. Yes, on the path to correcting the soul we have certain actions. How come the actions are so important for us? Well, they influence the intention, even if there is no intention, or the intention is not the desirable one or the right one. It's corrupted, it's the opposite. So, through actions, you can aim it, direct that better, and action without the correct intention of bestow, does it have any value? No, it has no value, but rather if, to begin with, there's the intention that through this deed you want to reach something, then yes. But, again, act without the intention to bestow, is that called lishma? This what it is. What do you mean bestow without the intention to bestow? I'm making action of connection with the friends as I described earlier. I'm on Zoom, I do what I need to do as we decided, but I see that inside my intention is incorrect. It's not in order to bestow, I'm taking care of myself. Is this called lishma? It's not called anything. So what is your intention? You can say, if you can't say what your intention is, then you cannot grade your action. I scrutinize that my intention is in order to receive it for myself, to enjoy, for joy, for honor something, but I make actions externally which are acts of bestow or connection. Forget connection, bestow connection. So the combination of action of connection with the incorrect intention, is this called lishma? And if it's not, then what is lishma? Is that in the meantime you're not capable of working for the sake of the creator. You can't, you want it, but you cannot. Again, yes, I still perform actions if I can't work for the creator. It's not like I'm going to sit at home and do nothing, perform actions, right? I think that's what is asking as well. We perform many acts, so, and even when we don't have the intention, felt like we want to have the correct intention, even though we don't have that, even out of habit, never lets on the way right. Yeah, this is the way I wanted to ask. It's in the excerpt, but it's not in the excerpt, but it's a lot, sounds a lot like setting times for Torah, meaning they establish it because they know I want to connect the Zoom. There's no chance for it to happen. But if I set a time for myself, then I can add to it my lack of intention with something theistic advice called times for Torah, and then they say you'll make it eventually. So what is your question? Time for Torah, exactly the recipe for one who does not have the right intention. Times for Torah, it's either the person that decides, but this is the time where now he needs to engage in Torah, to read, to write, to speak of a lesson, something, or that he is being activated. The times for the Torah, yeah, and the intention is not related to it. We hope that there will be an intention, but it's not a condition necessarily. The intention is already what he adds to the action when he begins to engage in something, and then what for that is the intention. Yes, I need to have a constant awareness in order to correct intent, or only the beginning of the action I need to have, the intention of what I'm going to do. Now it's written about this I wish you would pray all day long that all day long you will be asking yourself what am I doing and for what am I doing it, and if I'm making an action, let's say connecting with the friends on Zoom in a common reading we make and you know one intention in the beginning, then I forget about it. Even when we read the sources I forget about the intention. What then? How much is this action worthwhile on its own? Maybe it's not worth so much. But after some time, you nevertheless come back to the questions about the intention and all kinds of things, because you belong to the group and the group is working. What will bring me back on track? What awaken the intention again? Thoughts. My intention depends on the thoughts of the friends. Certainly this is our whole salvation alone until we would come back to it, and also it's a question of how would we come back, because we would be receiving negative awakenings, and from the group we also get positive awakening. And what's up to me as far as awakening into, and do I have such an ability to awaken the intention, or only when I getting it from the other, from the friends? Well, as much as you belong to them, as much as you awaken the friends work on you, and this is how it comes from the connection, your connection with them. You begin to feel your connection with the Creator as well. What corrects my intention, my corrupt intention? I start an action and I'm aware of the fact that it's 100% to myself. What corrects it? It only comes from the Creator through the group and to you. Sometimes you feel that it comes to you from the group, sometimes you feel that it's just some awakening came to you through all kinds of means. And when will Creator correct my intention from reception to bestow? What does that depend on? Why should He correct us now? Well, as much as you're connected with the society, with the group, with the 10, and as much as the 10 along with you is in the same direction of being together, so that out of it they will get closer to the Creator. Thank you, yes. And the intention, I'm not the master of that intention, I'm not the master of my heart. And the intention is the direction of their heart, with a heart inclined to what does He want? Yes, so is it correct to say that the work of men is to scrutinize the intention, to constantly be in like those questions, as you said, why am I doing it? Why am I doing it? For what I want out of my life, etc. I want to scrutinize my connection with the Creator. This is possible to scrutinize only through my connection with the 10. This is why I search for my connections with the 10 in all kinds of different manners, and through them I want to be connected with the Creator. Okay, now the intention is deeper than simply a thought. Right, it's a direction of my heart, it's the internality of the connection. What determines to what extent I'll be in the intention? He said to do the as much as the friends think about, as much as it is between you. Okay. Continue, where we speak of connection. The connection between us is there in that point, the point of the scrutiny of scrutinizing the intention. But we want all these tendencies to connect. Yes, the connection between us is in the Creator, but at least, well, it doesn't matter with what kind of discernment deans are not so deep, but in the Creator the connection cannot be outside of their Creator. This is together the scrutiny of person's intention and the connection between us, connection in the Creator. As he said, try to think about it as one, try to think of it as one, think about this as one, meaning if we are making the right effort, they must connect the scrutiny of my intention and the friends and the Creator between us. Okay, I'm sorry, but I have here also 18 women that the efforts of the 10 to build the intention, the only intention, holding on to the intention. Those are the efforts to build a screen in the 10. Yes, Toronto. Thank you. Are the 125 steps, are they before the correction of the M, or do they extend after the correction of the screen? From the correction of the screen we build, or more correctly, we reveal 125 degrees. You said that the connection between us is in the Creator, so how do we build the intention that indeed the connection will be in the Creator? He can't be outside of the Creator, because we are in Him, and if we wish to connect with one Another we need to discover our connection through the Creator. Why did the Creator break us, shatter us so that we would discover Him as existing between us? No, I connect with the friends in lessons. In the Zoom, what do I connect the intention to? What does it mean that I want to discover that it is in the Creator? I attach my intention that on the way to the friends I'll reveal the Creator, and through Him I'll connect to everyone. We have here seemingly opposite work. From love of the created beings to love of the Creator, all, and want to come to the back to the scrutiny of what it means, let's say, to really choose for the actions for the sake of the Creator. For that intention one side you can run away, let's say, from the bad. I don't want the bad. On the other side there could be an attraction of wanting to bestow to the Creator, but I don't know what it is yet. How can I come to that point of choice? The choice is in our connection, in the 10 where I choose each time to enter into a tighter bond with the friends. Okay, can CL, yes, what does it mean? Let's say to if you go to say to a title bond with it friends, but what does it mean to come to the point that it will be attractive to choose for the sake of the Creator? Because if I go to a tighter bond with their friends, it becomes more difficult. So what makes me make this point of choice to choose for the sake of the Creator? The other. On one side I want to run away because I see bad behavior, because my evil inclination run away. But what makes me ATT track that I want to choose for the Creator? I don't know what it is. If you wish to advance, you have no other choice but to enter into our thought with the friends, and in it you'll find your connection with the Creator. Period. This is something you have to see as a formula. What is that formula? Through the connection with the friends I come to connection with the Creator. Creator is the internality of the connection between us. Moss 7. A similar question I have. The Creator of the books, the group. How do I make it so that bestow will be pleasant to my heart? By raising the import of your actions and connection. There's nothing more important but to shake everyone towards connection. I'm good morning. Well, what to do when there's feeling of extreme rejection? I'm not talking about a state which there's no intention to bestow, which is mechanic. It's not a problem, but especially when I turned back to Turkey, I felt that I cannot do anything. I don't want to join lesson. I don't want to join to Zoom to any dissemination meeting. I don't want to translate the lessons. I'm not willing to do any action, even the smallest one. I'm not willing to. Okay, and I start to have fear that if I stop I will fall. I will have a great. So in this state, what is the advice? The advice is whatever is in your part to do, you should do it. I'm not sure what to tell you. I would try to translate, do something that will also help the others, but the main thing is to continue, and also to read all kind of articles that speak of you. See, according to our friends all over the world, that there is times for essence and connection, and times for a time for dissent and separation. Right now, all over the world, we are seemingly in a state of cooling down. A time will come, or we come back to connection. These ascents and descents are like great big waves in the ocean. Besides that, there are small personal waves for each one in his life. Good, and that's how we grow up, and that's how we change. So what is the purpose of the extra rejection? We know that everything is from above. Yes, so you would understand how do you need to accept every state that comes from the Creator, and what will you get out of it? And what the mind doesn't do, time does. Another rejection, another work on closeness, and another, and in this way a person gradually crosses this state of his general cool down. Okay, Bulgar 1. Bulgaria. If following the action that I perform I discovered that my intention was in order to receive, can I do anything about it? It doesn't matter. So it was in order to receive. You can't back up. You're going to correct it later. Important thing is to continue what you have on you. Now how can I help? Hey friend, how can I help the friends in that way? We only set an example for them talk about it. Thank you. I don't manage to understand yet is it possible to deepen, to build a more correct intention, because the fact that I ask myself what am I doing what I'm doing for my answers pretty much remain the same, and even if the answer is seemingly for the Creator, it's clear to me that it's a lie. So how do we advance with that? No, from with each passing day we advance more through the same actions as we've had before, except they're a bit more scrutinized, a little more. Scrutiny should be closer, we should be closer to one another, so it become clear that we are rising above our ego, and in this way we advance 1,000 enter the room, and one comes out to teach. We have to know that, so it all depends on the extent to which we remain steadfast, consistent. For example, every day in the framework of my work I engage a few hours in dissemination. I managed to put a more correct intention there every day, and I've been doing it for years. So what is the required connection? I don't know. We're not going to talk about your work right now, even if it's connection in the 10. It's the same thing, same question. We need the 10 in order to resemble the Creator, to be in a system that can bring us into contact with the Creator. What is the action that I need to perform before or after or in the middle of any external action that I do, so that I will have a year from now a much deeper intention than what I have now? Think of the goal. What do you wish to attain through this action? To invest more time in thinking about it. But I give a quick answer to myself, and I keep going. No, both during the action itself. How much are you able to think about what you wish to attain through the action, to try to imagine the state that I want to achieve? Yes, thank you all. HS in the end of the excerpt. Rush writes, and reception and ball applies to all of the degrees, since before the correction of the screen it is called reception, meaning lish. So how come the screen is reception? I don't know how to say it, but he's not entirely in order to bestow. It's only there to connect all the parts, all the broken parts, fragments. Where are we read number 7. We have 8. Okay, number 8. If he begins to work for the sake of the Creator, then he needs the greatness of the King. It follows that if he does not yearn for the greatness of the King, it is a sign that he's not working for the sake of the Creator. TH specifically, when he chases greatness, it is a sign that he wants to achieve a state where he can say that all his actions are for the sake of the Creator. Afterward, when he feels that he must know that he has a great and important King, and he sees that this is to him the main disruptor, this is what he in order to have the strength to overcome the will to receive, he comes to a second stage, meaning when he has to run away from the greatness, and he wants to work for the sake of the Creator unconditionally, which is called above reason. In other words, although his reason tells him you see that you believe in only a small King, nevertheless the person should say me, you are a great King, as though I felt it. I believe above reason that you are a great King, as though I felt it. I think I need to read it again. Except number 8. If he begins to work for the sake of the Creator, then he already needs the greatness of the King. It follows that if it is not he for the greatness of the King, it is a sign that he is not working for the sake of the Creator. That specifically, when he chases the greatness, it is a sign that he wants to achieve a state where he can say that all his sections are for the sake of the Creator. Afterwards, when he already feels that he must know that he has a great and important King, and he sees that this is to him the main disruptor, this is what he lacks in order to have the strength to overcome the will to receive, and he comes to a second stage, meaning that he has to run away from a greatness. He wants to work for the sake of the Creator unconditionally, which is called above reason. In other words, although his reason tells him you see that you believe in only a small King, nevertheless the person should say you are a great King, as though I felt it. I believe above reason that you are a great King, as though I felt it. Good morning. What is the meaning as if I feel it? What is this feeling that we need to harvest within our heart? Can you explain this feeling, please. I did not understand the question. He doesn't feel it, and he doesn't want to feel it. He doesn't want to discover it, reveal it. He just wants to feel it, to relate to the Creator as if he revealed his greatness throughout all reality, all of the world, although he himself does not wish to reveal it, meaning he wishes to reveal it, but is doing all kinds of actions in order to not reveal it, so that his actions will be in concealment to this, except it's clear why there's confusion many times, because we say that a person should feel the greatness of the Creator. Let's say he has to receive it from the environment or of some inner awakening, so that he will be able, so that he'll understand that he needs it in order to be able to work, in order to bestow. Sometimes we say that it has to be done without a feeling, without actually having it, meaning I actually don't have this feeling, I don't really see the Creator. It's great, and from here am I be able to bestow or not. So here Abash teaches us that we shift from one to the other, meaning when we achieve a state where we understand that we depend on the greatness of the Creator, then we have to awaken it in ourselves somehow within our own forces. Again, questions right here that there are 3 stages. 1 is I don't have the need for the greatness of the Creator, so I don't work Lishma. Then when I begin to have the need for the greatness, so I started working, and he says then he detects that he sees that he has this need, but this is a small king, and here specifically this is called the bee. This is the real work when I don't even have fuel. So how is it possible to work in that way? Okay, let him look for the source of where, how. Yes, it also pertains to the previous except can we improve the intention only by elevating the greatness of the Creator. Of course, what else do you have to do? Because sometimes we talk about, did I think about it, not think about it. But this is just the beginning of the action, but practically to change it, it's possible only through the greatness of the Creator. Right, correct, quickly. There is a desire, and there is the intention. If I have the intention to receive, then I enjoy in my desire even a tiny candle. It doesn't matter, but I enjoy it now. If there is an intention to bestow, where do I enjoy in my will to receive in that same desire? Or is there some new new vessel you enjoy and a desire that's above your desire in reflected light? So this is a new vessel. Yes, now in my natural, the first will to receive, do I always feel rejection? What happens with it? Okay, so there I enjoy in a new vessel. What about the old vessel? I always feel rejection there, or maybe I don't feel anything. I don't understand. You had a desire to receive. What's happening now? Now we have a new vessel. Which kind? You call it reflected light. I have an intention, so in the reflected light I enjoy be. But what about my vessel of reception? You feel it with this reflected light, so it's good for me, so I feel the pleasure in the same place. The desire is the same. The desire does not get if there is an intention to receive. Then I enjoy the same desire, just a little bit, what we call a tiny candle, as much as I'm given, let's say. But if there is an intention to bestow, then in the same desire I truly enjoy. Yes, let's say we talked about actions. Always when there is a group action, there is always rejection. There's no such thing that you want to do something like this. So if there is an intention to bestow, then I will feel that I'm drawn to such an action. Is there such a state where I will wait for it? Wow, now we're going to have a Zoom meeting. Now I'm going to meet with the friends. Is there such a thing if there is an intention to bestow? Is this how the person feels, or there will always be rejection, and above it it will always be? It all depends on how much you're given. You can be in degree 100, then they give you degree 101, and you feel rejection. Okay, no, it's clear that there are different states, but if a person has the intention to bestow, he will feel in the will to receive that he's drawn to such a group action. Or is it when we say love covers all crimes, we say the crimes always remain, and above it there's love? Does it mean that the rejection will always remain, and above it I guess there will be a more sharp feeling of until the end of correction? So the rejection will stay until the end of correction. Yes, okay, ask Last, what does it mean to run away from the greatness that he writes about? When a person doesn't want to take care of the greatness of the Creator in his eyes, a second ago he was yearning for the greatness of the Creator, and now that he received it, he no longer wants it. Yes, what does he work with now? His greatness, private greatness. Person his own individual greatness for himself in order to receive for the world to receive a. Second ago he said that if I have a yearning for the greatness of the Creator, it's a sign that I want to work for the sake of heaven. Yes, now I run away from it in order to work for myself. Or yes, so where is the work? What do we do in order to reach working for the sake of heaven? That's what I heard from you. You're talking about number 8. Yes, if he begins to work for the sake of the Creator, then he needs the greatness of the King, since without it he won't be able to overcome and work for the Creator. It follows that if he does not yearn for the greatness of the King, it is a sign that he's not working for the sake of the Creator, since what will he work with if he lacks that force, the greatness of the King? Thus specifically, when he chases greatness, it is a sign that he wants to achieve a state where he can say that all his actions are for the sake of the Creator, and afterwards when he feels that he must know that he has a great and important King, and he sees that this is to him the main disruptor, what he needs in order to be able to overcome the to receive, to acquire the greatness of the Creator, then he comes to the second stage when he has to run away from greatness, the Creator seemingly prepared to reveal himself to him, that he wants to work for the sake of the Creator unconditionally without any reward, which is called above reason. In other words, although his reason tells him, you see, that you believe in only a small King, a person should still say to me, you are a great King, as though I felt it, and I believe above reason that you are a great King, as though I felt it. So what is the matter that he has to run away from the greatness? He doesn't want to reveal the Creator. He doesn't want to reveal the Creator because if he reveals the Creator is truly great. He feels everything, he does everything, and he has no problem to do things in order to bestow to him. It's like he's sitting in a restaurant and he's paying for what he's getting, and he wants to be not in a restaurant. Let's go to let's summarize the main points we heard in the lesson. Let's summarize the main points we heard in the lesson. Sure, lesson filled with content. Simply reach the Creator. I don't know how to summarize that. Maybe in a word to say that through connection with friends I reach the Creator, and the Creator is the more internal phase of that connection. Maybe that's a concise summary of the lesson. What a privilege we have that par lessons with the from the assist how the heart awakens from the moment we start washing ourselves with these things, with the friends' questions. It's just a miracle and a wonder. Something I heard out of many things is as much as you awaken friends, the friends work on you, and this away from your connection to them, you also start feeling your connection to the Creator. Indeed, healing lesson very directive, very internal. What can I add? I don't know. A person is told what it means to bestow that person. Once I have to understand what I wrote. A person wants. When a person wants to get closer to the Creator, he has to get closer to the quality of the, and the quality of bestow is a quality that is opposite from what I have. So it's always a question how we receive this. Screen in the lesson said I heard from him how dependent we are on the friends, that our common work is an ettle, even though we're unaware of it, and it awakens each one back to the right thoughts, and without the society we would simply be carried away with blows of the blind nature. So we're fortunate to have such a society. Sasha tried to recognize what's written, so to remind the prayer that this lesson, this charge will be written on our heart. We heard about scrutinizing the intention during the day on every action. Connection between us is in the Creator. There can be a connection outside the Creator, although the connection between us is in the Creator, and there can't be connection outside the Creator. Directed us to be with inclination toward the friend, toward the 10, and that inclination that from the level of People, we get to the level of the Creator, there was something beautiful WR the 10 has to tend care for each one, to enter their inner circle, and they'll all be concerned as one man, as one heart. Because it's everyone's gain or everyone's loss according to the connection between us. It was very clear how dependent we are on each other. I've said in the beginning of the lesson that this is our salvation, that if we don't have this, if we didn't have this, we wouldn't even be able to think about the intention. So toward the Congress, let's be in these thoughts, we'll be in these thoughts, we won't release them. As we heard, I wish we prayed all day, that during the whole day I'll ask myself, what am I doing, and what I'm doing it for, and I paid attention to special phenomena in the lesson every time I hear something from and want to write it down. So I see waking up exactly at the same moment and writing down the same sentence, or maybe we influence each other because we feel it's important, and that's how we affect one another. So I'll read another, searching for connections in the 10 in all kinds of different ways, and through them want to be connected to the Creator. Well, it's time to read what the FRCH wrote. From I heard in the lesson, in the answer to that, to go against my will is unpleasant and impossible. Only the society can help a person take such a step. And from Zed, who came to us from Chicago and right now is up north in northern Israel, we have to build a screen that is actually the correction. And also, I feel that I need to digest this lesson, but again the road is paved, and together we have to work on the innermost intention that directs us and our hearts together to the Creator, and in participation in the work we will feel and approach in the quality of bestow and want search for all kinds of shortcuts, that whoever wants to advance advice by on how to do it. If you want to advance, there's no choice but only to enter the between the friends. In that you'll find your connection with the Creator. You have to see that as a formula. I couldn't hear many things in the lesson, but I know we have to help each other, and thank God we have with what to help, and we know that we need importance. Our goal needs importance. What to be, for why make efforts? Where is the Creator in the picture? Are we aimed correctly? Are we truly working as one unit? And if not, are we praying for it? Are we asking for the strength to do it? These are the questions I have. We were talking about as much as we depend on society and the thoughts that awaken from the friends. So to add, I heard that we are dependent on one another, but as much as I awaken the friends, they work on me. We'll move to the next part of the lesson, learning among friends.